December 11th, 2023. How's it going, guys? Well, I got another video for you. And what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about a wave of energy coming in here, taking out all the power grid. So let's just get started. Hold on. Okay, guys. You have 8 hours before this wave hits. And everything you're looking at in this refrigerator, once the power goes off, will pretty much be toast after 4 to 6 hours. Not good, guys. So hold on. Okay, guys, I'm back. Now, what might be the first 10 things it might come to mind, things you might want to do or get to do for the last time? And I made a little list. I thought we'd just have a little bit of fun today. So I was thinking, well, what would you miss the most? I would say probably milk, because you wouldn't have that opportunity to go to that refrigerator anymore and get any milk. And then you get into a whole nother ball game when it comes to those cows out there on those farms, because if they don't pasteurize the milk, you can get a lot of different things, a lot of different sicknesses. You can get like cholera, you can get E. coli from their poop. Because their poop, if it gets into the water and it's infected, oh yeah. You know, they used to talk about even like farmers in different areas for like one family not to drink the other milk from the other families of the other cows because of the locations and different things. But won't go into that. But I just a deal for thought. 2, let's do this. How about glasses, guys? All these people out there wearing those contacts, well, there won't be no contacts no more. So how many of you have actual glasses and maybe a backup or 2 pair to have on hand? Because without that, you're not going to be able to see either up close or far away, depending on, you know, your eyesight there, guys. Just wanted to get that out there. Another thing comes to my mind, number 3, thermal wear, because you ain't going to have no heat no more, not unless you got something like a fireplace or, you know, a wood burning stove or a coal stove, or better have something to be able to stay warm. So I thought I'd get that out there. Some good old long johns like they did back in the 1800s, right, guys? And what's another thing it might get you? Now, you only got 8 hours here. And, you know, I don't even know if you can get glasses. I know you can get them made quickly in 24 hours, but I don't know if you can get them made in a couple hours. So you probably couldn't get, if you don't have that, you'd already be in trouble. And what about your teeth? Now, everybody's teeth, you know, over time, people get cavities, stuff. I've had some work done on mine just recently, and I got a couple more I need to get done. But teeth can kill you. They get in, you know, if you get a abscess, and it can cause your heart to start palpitating, arrhythmia. I don't know. And there's lots of people. It always amazes me. I've come across lots of people that's had good actual health insurance and stuff, that or made good enough money to be able to go get it done right away, and some of them don't do it at all. And you know what, you might think, well, I can always go and get them pulled, but you're not going to be able to do that anymore. I mean, there'll still be dentists out there, but it's going to be a little bit different. And then there might not be anything to give them any kind of medication for any painkiller. And they might be alcohol, but that might be the only thing. So that's something else to think about, guys. Now, also, you know, brushing your teeth, just to give a little bit of information out there. What do you think they used in the 1700s to brush your teeth? They took burnt toast, and they took that burnt toast, and that's what they brushed your teeth with, to try to clean their teeth, guys. Just something else to let you know about there. But that won't even be the half of it. Now we don't, like I say, we only got 8 hours here, and and then there's not going to be no more power. So now if you're relying on, if you're a person that's got some kind of a disability when it comes to medical, we're going to talk about that. What if you are a diabetic and need your insulin? Not good, guys. Not good at all. What about blood pressure medication? Now, I'm going to give a few things out there on this. I just, there's 1.28 billion people, 1.28 billion people that rely on blood pressure medicine every day on this planet. Well, there won't be no more. What you have is what you got, and when it runs out, that's it. I don't know. Not good, guys. And let's just talk about one other little thing. And that becomes a deal of, I was looking here, people that are mentally ill, you take antidepressants. Now, in 2022, there was a recorded deal that 800 million people take antidepressant drugs. Well, what happens when they can't get to those drugs? Now, not all of them are going to fall down, but how many of them will become even more erratic? And I've talked a little bit about big groups and stuff. I don't think that's always the way to go, but you also have to have people that are level-headed, science-wise, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got lots of groups that get together out there, but when everything starts to fall apart and there's not as much food, and then you got these people that are on these medications, what's going to happen then when they're on their big groups and they get more erratic, they get more hyper? What's going to happen? I don't know. All right, we'll go on from there. And let's see here. Oh, yeah, we was going to talk about also, you might want to go back one last time and flush your toilet, because you won't be able to do that much longer, because there won't be any power pumping. Actually, the pumping stations that pump the water to your homes, you won't be there anymore. So, not good, guys. And, the cholera is what killed back in the 1800s a lot of people here, on the Santa Fe Trail. Just less than a couple blocks away from my house, there's a cemetery where a ton of them died from cholera. Not good. So let's see where we go from there. Oh yeah. Well, you might want to take one last drive in your vehicle if it's not, if it can't take that hit from this energy wave. Not counting, there won't be no power to power any of your convenience stores for your gasoline. Not good, guys. Not good at all. And I also think about these owners that have all these pets, all these dogs that are going to protect them. Well, what happens when these dogs, some of the attack dogs, vicious dogs, what happens when they can't feed them? Now, think about this for an instant. That dog's going to get hungry. If you can't feed it and you don't have enough food for yourself, are you going to give the dog food before you get any food? Are you going to die for that dog? And vice versa. Think about this. I mean, are you going to be that meal for the dog? Yeah. So lots to think about. These are the little things that go through my mind when I look at all this stuff that I think, I don't know, guys. I don't know. And then, it's another thing too. We're going to talk also about antibiotics. And, sometimes antibiotics are good for you in one respect. I mean, especially if you're sick or you got an infection. You know, a small cut on your arm, a small cut on your leg, if it gets infected, you can always run to the doctor. But there won't be no place to run to. And there won't be no other drugs to take to do that. Now, if you're versed in other kinds of, say, like plant life and stuff that maybe you could use to help take down an infection, you know, that's pretty good. But how many of us are? So it's something else to think about, you know. And also, do you have any surgical thread? You know, to be able to stitch any wound that's a larger wound up. And do you have the ability to be able to do that? I mean, could you do that? I mean, psychological wise, this is another thing that people need to think about. But they're not thinking about all this. What you know, you'd have to do. Well, they're in their big groups, but when they're in their big groups, and some of them get psychotic, and they don't have their drugs anymore, and people's dying, and there's more chaos, then what happens, guys? I don't know. And I'm going to put a couple more in here, just went through my mind here. Number 10, I would think of something, you got 8 hours, maybe if you don't have some manual tools, maybe get you a couple hammers, maybe an axe, how about a couple hand saws, Christmas tree, maybe a saw too, some nails, some screws, if you need to build something else. Because that's something that, you know, think about this, you know, you're not going to have electricity. So, I don't know. And then I think about hygiene, because just like the teeth of many people and stuff that think, you know, everything's A-okay, it's not okay. And, you know, if you're not going to be able to get to a dentist, I mean, people have died from, you know, actually just one tooth. So it's something else to think about. And then I got thinking about the women. I was thinking about, you know, how they got crazy about, I mean, some of the stuff about the, you know, about the toilet paper. I think the toilet paper is the least of the worries. Maybe you're wondering where all the poop and the pee is going to go, and making sure that you're above and not downstream for wherever it's flowing from might be something. But I also got thinking about the women and when it comes to, you know, hygiene during that time of the month, on like the tampons and the Kotex and stuff. Now, it's, you know, the pioneers used like rags, like basically cloth and some cotton rags, okay? Native Americans used moss and buffalo skin, guys. And I believe even the Egyptians used sand, believe it or not, for absorption. But it's just things that, you know, it's those little tiny things that can kind of come up and bite you in the end. Definitely want to make sure you got some eyeglasses. Now, how many people out here? Oh, I didn't do a run on how many people's using contacts, but I bet a lot of them don't have glasses. Now, they always recommend that, but a lot of people don't do that anymore. But if you're going to be able to make those plastic contacts, now they do make glass. I don't know if they still make them or not. They used to have them, but you know how that goes. But just another thing to think about. I mean, what would it take? I mean, when this happens, the flash, the micronova, maybe even just a small asteroid flying into the sun, causing a shock wave to take all of it out. Just a little bit of thought today, guys. I'm sure someday it will happen. But anyway, I just thought I'd do this. Anyway, keep your eyes open and stay safe out there.